Hello. So it's another day for PPC Talk with experts, and this one is going to be recorded and afterwards played on Wild PPC Bunch podcast. This time Brent is not with me, but like last time when we had 48-hour live stream, we have Julia with us. That talked about ManyChat sequences, and you guys really loved it. So Julia is once again here, and she's going to talk about ManyChat sequences. Julia, maybe you would like to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me again, Lazar. So today we are going to talk about the 10 ways to use ManyChat in your Amazon advertising strategy. So because obviously this event is hosted by Sellers Alley, and we are going to talk about how ManyChat can work for PPC and for your advertising. Take that angle. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting, and I have a lot of information to share today, like a lot. I actually wanted to make it very interactive. So that's why I'm gonna also share chatbot, demo chatbot that you can get in the presentation in just a moment. And you can see all of the talking points that we are gonna cover today, as well as some extra tips that we might not have time to cover today because we are limited on time. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited, and let's get started.
Yeah, great. So can you tell us more about ManyChat? Like, how do you plan to you feel free to start with presentation. Do you want me to share a presentation with you right away, or would you like to talk a bit first, or do you have some idea?
I have presentation, so I don't know. I should.
Yeah,
okay, let me just share screen.
Yeah, for those that don't know, while Julia is clicking on share screen, Julia is one of the smartest girls I know, and she's a really big expert on ManyChat sequences. So I'm really happy that we have her here today with us. And Kevin, Olivia said, "Yeah, I'm excited."
Nice, thank you. Can you see my screen right now?
Yep.
It's my presentation. Okay, great. So yeah, like I mentioned, I'd like to make it very interactive. That's why you can use this QR code, you can scan it, and then you'll get access to the chatbot with all the things that we're going to cover today and even more, with some extra tips. And actually, there's also a link for those who can't.
Wait, I want to do it.
Sorry, guys. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to scan it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I already scanned.
So there is also a link for those who may have issues with scanning it. Wait, what did they name the link? Oh, yeah, just 10 ways. So basically pixelfy.me/10 ways, and you'll also get access to this chatbot as it's the same. Okay, awesome. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, and in general, I tried to make it more structured so that we can see from stage 1 till stage 10, because we're going to have the 10 ways today. We're going to cover 10 things to kind of see some kind of structure. Okay, this is step 1, this is step 2. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna start with talking about pre-launch and launch of the product, your advertising, optimizing your listing, all things like that. And we're gonna go up to the step 10. That's gonna be scaling your brand outside of Amazon. So it's gonna be a lot of material.
I have just a quick one for those guys that are going to listen to this podcast. You can obviously see everything on our YouTube page as well. But for those that are going to listen to the podcast, what's the best way to get to your ManyChat sequence that you're sharing with us, through QR code, to go to your Facebook page, or how?
You mean to get access to this chatbot?
Yeah. While they're listening to the podcast, how they can get to the bot.
Yes. They can either scan this QR code that they're going to see on all the slides, or use the link pixelfy.me/10 ways.
Okay, perfect.
Great. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the pre-launch process. I think many Amazon sellers, they are start building their launch strategy, starting with actually when the product is gonna go live on Amazon. They don't really do much before that, and they only start, the launch. So they turn on the PPC, they launch their Facebook ads, this ManyChat if they are doing that, or they email their customers about the upcoming launch. Well, not upcoming, just the launch. Typically, they do it on the first day of the launch, and then they do it like all the time till basically they finish the launch. However, I would suggest that you consider for your business to do what all the big brands are doing. They all have the pre-launch strategy, and they start the launch way before the product goes live. So they do it a few weeks before. Some even do it a few months ago. A few months ahead of the launch. And that way, they're building this list of customers who are really, really interested in getting the product, and they are being added to a special list, and they're just waiting for when this product is going to finally be live. So this is a very, very good thing for your business to implement. In terms of ManyChat, when you're going to do that, you're basically going to start a Facebook ad for your upcoming product launch. You're going to create that list of people who are interested in the product, which will also make it kind of more reliable or so, because when you're just turning on the Facebook ads, and for example, you need to get certain amount of people every day to buy the product, sometimes you might not hit that target. But if you build that launch list in advance, then you can just keep emailing them or sending them the messenger notification with this system every day to as many people as you need, and you know that you will have those people who need to buy the product, so that's no problem. Because some of you will have the question, well, how am I going to be able to message those people about the launch? Because now Facebook changed so many things, and you're not supposed to message your messenger subscribers after 24 hours from their last interaction with the chatbot. Well, there is such a thing as a one-time notification, OTN, that you can use that. You can basically tell people, if you're interested in finding out, being notified as soon as we launch that product, click here. And when they click that button, you can message them at any point in the future about that launch. And yeah, that's basically how I think is the smart way to do your pre-launch to make sure everything is going smoothly.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far, or anyone?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. Like, just one question. Like you mentioned, like when somebody clicks, and after that you can send them a message. Like that's a message, like one, or you can spam them a bit more.
So that's just one message. Yeah, because Facebook is really trying to preserve the audience that they have. Customers, I guess, just Facebook users, and that's why they are limiting your ability to message your messenger subscribers, unfortunately. So you can just send one message per one OTN, but you can have multiple OTN if you want. For example, you can ask them, would you like to be notified about the product launch? Would you like to be notified about our Black Friday deals? And just have like kind of multiple touch points like that.
Oh,
and then
nice.
You will be able to send one message per each OTN that you collect.
That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is often also used by, for example, when there are some conferences or so, they can also create an OTN for that to notify about the conference. But for Amazon sellers, obviously, that's product launches, that's big events like Black Friday, Prime Day, this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Okay, so the second one is solidifying your indexing and keyword relevancy. So after we are done with the pre-launch, we're going to move into the launch stage. And there you will need to start getting sales as soon as possible, because your product is not considered relevant for the keywords that are in your listing. Because, I don't know, maybe you have like you're selling pillows, but then your listing is all about selling, I don't know, like some products for pets or something. Like Amazon algorithm wants some proof that your listing is really what what you say it is. So the keywords that you used in your listing, the Amazon algorithm needs kind of some proof that they are really relevant to your product. That's why when you start getting sales through those keywords, either through PPC or through ManyChat, like organic full price sales, it really, really improves your keyword relevancy, and it really makes it way easier for you to rank your products. So this is the first thing that you need to do. You need to turn on the exact match PPC for your main keywords. I would suggest like having a list of, let's say, 10, maybe 15 exact match, very, very relevant keywords that you know that you're going to be converting through them, because this is what the people are looking for. And so you target those keywords, as well as drive some organic sales, full price purchases through, let's say, ManyChat, your email list. It can be, there are many ways to do it. And just a few sales is enough to, well, through each keyword that you want to establish your keyword relevancy but still, if they are kind of similar, if they are from the same keyword group, then even improving your keyword relevancy for one keyword is going to also affect the whole like huge list of keywords. Like, for example, if it's a, let's say, product cat tree, right? But you want to also target kind of secondary keywords, which is going to be cat tree for large cats or for big cats or whatever. You're going to, by targeting any of those keywords, even the long tails, you're also going to affect your relevancy for the big keywords, which is cat tree, for, just as an example. So yeah, this is very important stage that will make ranking way, way easier.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Yeah. So basically, like, you create push campaigns for exact keywords for that you want to rank for, and like you let the algorithm realize that you're highly relevant. And after that, like, is it important to like? I know it is, but like for the listeners, like how important it is to build sales over time. Is it going to affect your ranking and like comparing to other products from the same niche? Like, is it going to, like, if your CTR is lower or conversion rate is lower or higher on the other end, like, is it going to affect your relevancy and is it going to affect like overall BSR?
It will. It will. That's why it's so important during the launch to, just like you said, to build sales and to show higher than average in the niche conversion rate and click-through rate, which typically is kind of, it's doable just because you are, during the launch, you're controlling a lot of the traffic. So you can really make sure that you are getting pretty decent conversion rate just because you have those full price purchases through ManyChat, and you target the very specific keywords that are super relevant. It's very important not to drive non-relevant traffic. So for example, if you had auto campaigns, but all of a sudden from day one of the launch, but then all of a sudden they would start driving non-relevant non-relevant clicks and purchases to your product listing, that would be pretty bad because it will confuse the Amazon algorithm, and it will be like, okay, so which is it, this product or is it that product? I don't understand what to improve its ranking for. So while you have that control in the initial stage of the launch, it's very important to do everything right.
Nice. Good to know that.
Yep. I know you already knew this.
Well, that's important to share, you know.
Yep, that's true. So the third part is to start improving, working and focusing on your sponsored and organic ranking. So once we established the keyword relevancy, we can now focus on pushing it even further and just drive more sales. At this stage, I would also recommend to turn on your broad and phase match campaigns. It typically happens probably like on day 7, 10 of the launch. So once you kind of already established and gave the necessary data to the Amazon algorithm that your product is relevant for those just 10 keywords, let's say, you can now start expanding without worrying that it will confuse the Amazon algorithm. So yeah, at this stage, turn on broad and phase campaigns just to make sure that you are scaling, because it's very important to be increasing your sales every day if you can, but at least, like, let's say if you're looking on weekly averages, each week should be more sales than the previous week, so that you are showing that yes, your product started with, let's say, 2 sales a day, but now you're building it up and now it's making 10 sales a day or 15 sales a day, and that will really, really boost your ranking by a lot, as well as if you can also maintain your decent CTR click-through rate as well as conversion rate.
Yeah, do you think like it wouldn't improve, like if you triple the amount of sales but your CTR goes down for like 5 times?
It's hard to say. I would also triple the amount of sales, right? Well, if you triple them, then it's kind of, sales is what matters the most, because then you will have lower BSR, so better BSR. Potentially you can win Amazon's choice badges, all this kind of stuff. And just because you will be driving more sales on your listing, Amazon will be more likely to push your product higher in the search results, just because as like Amazon wants to make money, so every time your product is being sold, Amazon makes a cut of that. That's why they're interested in if your product is really making a lot of sales. So I would probably say that tripling the sales matters more than if your CTR drops 5x. What would you say?
To be honest, I have no idea. that's a
hard
honest
one.
answer. Yeah, like from PPC perspective, like when you look at the positions where you can advertise, it's like real estate on Amazon, and like nobody wants to keep somebody there for a long time while somebody else can make sales, and that's the tricky part. Like when you compare the amount of times you show up at certain position comparing the amount of sales, like they want to like in the ideal Amazon world, you would show up once, you would get 1 click, and you would get 1 conversion. And like what's closest to that number, I think that's going to make the difference. To be honest, I have no idea for the question that they asked. I was like, maybe you know.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
So okay then. And yeah, eventually, just because you're gonna increase your keyword relevancy, you're gonna improve your ranking, your cost per click is gonna go down, and so you'll also be more likely to win better ad placements. So just like have better sponsored ranking, and that's gonna be at lower cost. So because Lazar, you for sure know this way better than me, that it doesn't matter how much you bid on the keyword as much as whether you are relevant for this keyword or not. Like you can bid, I don't know, $50 on a keyword that's not relevant to you, and someone who is really relevant for that keyword, they're going to bid, let's say, I don't know, $3, and I don't know, 53. I still think the one who is more relevant is more likely to win that ad placement. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like there is one thing on other platforms that Amazon doesn't have yet. It's called quality score when it comes to ads, and that's something that Amazon is currently missing, but it would be really useful to have it, to be honest, because like it's also like protecting established sellers. If you're selling something for years and I come there, and if I try to push sales just because I have like $5,000 to burn on PPC, it wouldn't be logical. It wouldn't be fair for you, because like you have history, you have traction. Amazon algorithm already knows about the amount of sales that you're able to make through certain amount of first impressions and clicks and so on. And like I would get some extra love by Amazon because of that honeymoon period at the beginning, but after that, if I don't show that I'm like more relevant or better than you, like I would drown somewhere on some third, fourth page, I don't know. So yeah, it's you can always bid higher to protect your listing. Like that's something that I suggest. Like it's better to like bit more just to protect yourself from somebody else when you want to like do cross-selling or upselling on your product listing page. But like when it comes to Amazon, when you want to attack somebody, you want to make it a bit more profitable. So there is no high logic in like spending $50 for one click, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree. And another thing that I wanted to add to this, actually, to just the topic of establishing your keyword relevancy and improving your sponsored ranking, let's say, because we are focusing on PPC today, is that it's also a good idea to turn on your ASIN targeting campaigns for very, very relevant competitors that you have decent chance of getting some sales through them. So let's say if they have, I don't know, thousands of reviews, then it's not a good idea to do that. But choose ASINs, competitor ASINs that are super relevant, that are getting some sales, some traction, some traffic is going to those listings, which you can check with some tools for sellers, and try to win some sales from targeting those ASINs, because as soon as you get a few sales through a certain ASIN, like from their product page, you will automatically get indexed for all the keywords on that ASIN is ranking for. Well, almost all, let's say. So for example, if they have some keywords that you don't even have in your listing, probably it's not going to do much. But that's why I said you should choose very relevant ASINs. That means you will have similar keywords with them, and you get a few sales through that listing, your keyword relevancy improves by a ton. It's super, super good hack. So do it.
Yeah, that's a really good advice, to be honest.
Okay, awesome. So let's move on. So the fourth is, I think I have the same description here, but so increasing the profitability of ads. I think we basically covered it in number 3, that once you establish better keyword
That's
relevancy.
That's why you have the same description,
Exactly, yeah. I think I was supposed to have something else here, but
no
it's okay.
worries.
Yeah, so basically your ads will become more profitable. Of course, when you just launch your product, it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost in giveaways. If you're doing that, it's gonna cost in your PPC as well. You will have higher cost per click, higher just everything. Like you will have to spend money to rank, but then it will pay for itself, and eventually your cost of advertising will start going down. You will become more profitable with your ads, and it will allow you to scale your brand, because I don't know if anyone watching here is just doing like organic and not using any PPC, but you should be using PPC because it complements your organic sales, and then you have just like bigger total of sales overall, just making more sales, and then it pushes your organic rank as well. So that's very important to kind of have them work in tandem together, in combination, not just rely on organic sales, but use PPC as well, even if it seems unprofitable, even if you think you're losing money on it, but let's say not too much money, but like just a little bit unprofitable, it will still pay to keep that PPC running, just because then you will be making more organic sales to cover for that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like I used to work in a company like that has like still has physical stores, and the owner of the company had like really good saying, telling like they're like Best Buy but in Serbia, and he was like, I can give away hundreds of TVs every day in the store, but if I don't advertise it, like nobody will come and take them away, So it's really important to advertise, especially at the beginning, and to allocate some budget for advertising, no matter if it's profitable or not. Especially like one of the things that we do in the agency, we always compare ad sales versus total sales. And like in one of the previous episodes, Brent and I talked about that with Sean Smith. And like there is one point in PPC when you start cannibalizing your organic sales. Like when you're pushing with PPC so hard, that you're basically taking away organic sales. And like, but like at some point, PPC is really good to increase organic sales as well, because like you're increasing brand awareness. And one of the best indicators about how brand is strong or not for us, like when a client comes and like when we do the audit, we basically compare the percentage of sales coming through PPC versus organic sales. And like if you get like 80% of all of your sales through PPC, like you're highly dependent on PPC. Like I own a PPC agency, and like I don't like to see that, even though if it's an extra job for me. But like on the other hand, like you don't want your brand to be like highly dependent on advertising at that level. And on the other hand, like if you have like 5% of your sales coming through PPC, maybe that's not the best thing as well, because your brand is probably way more known, and like you're not pushing enough, basically. You can live like that. Like I saw some really big 7 or 8 figure sellers with literally 0 campaigns on PPC, but like if they created just a bit of them, they would definitely make more sales. We have Yana here as well. Hey, Yana.
Hi.
Yeah, so sorry for like moving away from the topic. So
no. Yeah, it's very, very good advice for everyone. So what would you say is the good percentage of your total sales that you should be investing into PPC?
Like in Douglas Adams' book, it's like 42. I'm just kidding. it's 35. It's around 35ish. It's like when it comes to your blended ACUS or real ACUS, call it as you wish, it's like spent as a percentage of overall revenue. You should have from 5 to maybe 13-14% of your overall revenue that you're making allocated to your advertising efforts. But when it comes to ad sales, I would definitely say around 35ish is absolutely fine. If you have like more than that, that's a really good indicator that you should do other stuff like ManyChat, for example, to try to improve your organic sales, to try with bringing value to potential customers through different channels, like not paid channels, like create blog posts and like try to do some live videos or stuff like that. That would definitely help.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. Cool. So this is very good advice. If check what's the percentage of spend compared to your total sales, and if you are investing into PPC basically like under 10-13%, then maybe you should consider investing more, and basically that will allow you to scale your brand.
Yeah, you know what people usually ask, like, what's the good ACUS when you launch the product? And like, there is no universal answer that's going to fit everybody. Like, I'm pretty sure that everybody would be okay with 150% ACUS, which is like highly unprofitable. But if it's making your organic sales go like up 10 times every other day, and if your PPC sales are just like small percentage of overall sales, so like if you level everything up, and like if you have like some, like at the beginning you need to push, that's kind of normal. Like I always try to like replicate things that are happening like in like retail rather than in e-commerce, because it's like closer to a lot of people that way. Like if you open a physical store, like you're probably not going to be profitable during first month. Like it takes a couple of months for the people to get used to that your like grocery store is next door, and like what kind of stuff are you selling, and maybe you're selling better products like organic food or stuff like that. So the same thing is with PPC and like your Amazon sales. So you probably are going, if you're profitable from start, you're really happy person. Like that's not happening for everybody.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next?
What's next? Let's see. So the next one is lowering the cost of your launch. Basically, yeah, everyone knows that doing full price purchases through ManyChat, driving the traffic, it can be very costly, and it's expensive because you have to invest into Facebook ads. Then you have to basically send a rebate of the product price to the customer after they bought it, and so it adds up. And that's why I believe some sellers don't want to do it, because it's just expensive. However, it doesn't have to be as expensive as you would think it would be. So basically, the first one is that, for example, if you look, if you're doing your research in Helium 10, let's say, it will give you like estimated daily sales that you need to get for certain keyword to rank on page 1. And you will look at that and you will be like, wow, I need to give away so many units. That's a lot. That's too much. I can't. It's too much money. I can't do this. But actually, that number, it is for if you are giving away your products on a big discount. So for example, if you offer 50% off, 70% off promo codes that people are going to apply on Amazon before making the purchase, then that's the number of giveaways that you need to have in order to rank your product to page 1. However, well, those giveaways are not as efficient as they used to be anymore. And with full price purchases, that amount is way lower. So typically you can just divide it by, let's say, 4x, and that's going to be the amount of rebates, full price purchases that you need, just because they have way more value for the Amazon algorithm when you get those sales. So that's the first thing, that just your cost of your launch is going to be lower due to that. And the second thing is there's such a thing as add to carts. Basically, you will have like secret promo code campaign. It's also called Wheel of Fortune, and people will. So basically, it's like going to be like a giveaway, but people will not know what's the code that they won until they apply it on Amazon. So they will get a promo code which looks just like, I don't know, like 10 letters, and they need to copy it. Then they go to your listing, they add it to cart, and then they apply the promo code at checkout, and only then they will see what's the value of the discount. And this way you're getting add to cart. And with add to carts, the goal is not to convert, it's just to add those add to carts and to drive the conversion into add to carts. So basically, people who come to your listing, so sessions, what's the percentage of them who add the product to cart? And if you do the combination of add to carts and rebates, it's going to be really powerful. You shouldn't do just add to carts as a standalone thing, because then you will not have decent conversion rate. You will have a lot of people who go to the listing and then they drop off without making the purchase. But if you drive in rebates, so full price purchases as well as add to carts, which increases your add to cart ratio, then it's just a very powerful combo. And add to carts, they almost don't cost anything to do them. Basically, you just pay for Facebook ads, which if you have this giveaway type of ad, it's very, very cheap. The cost per click, cost into Messenger that you're getting, typically it's like under $1. You can get, I don't know, let's say 60 cents. You will get for, you'll have to pay for one person who goes into your bot and they receive the promo code, and then they can go to Amazon and apply that code. And some people will actually buy the product with that promo code, but it's going to be not that many people. Like typically, I would say like 10%, let's say. Most of the people, they will be like, oh, okay, this is not, let's say it's 75% off. I don't know, I still have to spend some money. Like if they really want this product, if it's a really good product, they will buy it. But some people will be like, oh, I don't know, I expected 90% off. But once again, the goal here is not to convert, it's just to improve the add to cart ratio. And then
just to be sure, sorry for interrupting, like that's like completely inside of like terms of service, like you're allowed to do this kind of stuff.
Well, you are, well, terms of service, they kind of don't allow a lot of stuff. You know what I would say? Everyone who is doing ManyChat, they're kind of in the gray zone. I wouldn't say, like, some people are in the black zone when they're using ManyChat. But
yeah, please don't share black stuff. Like we don't want that.
Okay. No. I'm not going to do that. But in general, like everyone who is using ManyChat, they are in the gray zone, and you need to understand that. So if you want to stay completely white hat, then all those things that sellers use ManyChat for Amazon, they are probably just at least a little bit in the gray zone. There is just no way around it. The only like white hat way that you can use ManyChat as completely white is if you only use it to like tell people about the product launch, and you just send them promo code, and then you don't do anything. Like you don't like give them link to your, I don't know, you basically tell them like go to amazon.com and find the product, but you don't like have them search, find, buy, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of people are using search, find, buy, as I understand.
That's gray hat. So basically everyone's using search, find, buy. If they are using ManyChat, they're using search, find, buy most of the time. But if you want to be very honest about it, the Amazon doesn't allow to manipulate ranking, and in the search, find, buys, you are manipulating the ranking. So just something to be aware of, and then you make the decision.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Yep. Okay, so the next one is acquiring product reviews. So after you've already ranked your product and you're getting sales, but you're still beginning, and so there are a lot of competitors who have way more reviews than you. You need to start working on your reviews. And I mean, so basically you can either just let it happen on its own. That way your review acquisition is going to be pretty low. And it will just take you so much time to get to a certain number of reviews. However, like many sellers are trying to be proactive about it. And so, for example, I wanted to touch upon product inserts versus ManyChat. So many sellers are using product inserts, and in there they have, let's say, a QR code or a link, and they say, okay, just scan this QR code or visit this link, and you'll get some product for free. But then when people actually do that, the seller will have those people like leave a product review or something like that. So like many sellers are doing it. To be honest, I'm not a fan of this strategy, because you will have your stock on in the Amazon warehouses, and they at any point they can inspect your stock, and they will see what you're doing. They will see your product inserts, and they might not like it. So if you want to be more proactive about product reviews, but you don't want to leave very obvious traces like that, then I would recommend using ManyChat. You can target your customers and with Facebook ads, and then you can just build a relationship with the customers. And once again, you can be more, more white hat about it. You can be a little bit in the green
please be white hat.
So for white hat, you just build a relationship with your customers. You just find out whether they like the product or not. If you don't want to, you can even like not ask about review, but you just build a connection with them, try to offer something valuable, and then if they are super happy with what you provide, they will just leave you reviews. So that's the very white hat way to do it.
Good.
Okay. So yeah, alternatives here, I actually just wanted to say that basically the only alternative to product inserts or ManyChat that I see is just like letting it happen on its own. But it's not always the best strategy, just because it just takes so much time to build your product review count these days. And also all those, like, your competition has so many reviews that they built over the years that you need to be more proactive about it.
Great.
Okay, so so the 7 is I just wanted to touch upon, in general, getting more real estate on the Amazon platform and on your listing, just having more visibility there. So check your frequently bought together. They appear just under your listing. Basically, your listing images is typically the first row. And you will see, okay, frequently bought together, these 3 products typically. And some brands already have their own 3 products on there all the time. And so that's really great. That means that you have very loyal customer base, that they are buying your products in the same order. And that's why it's frequently bought together. It's really, really good that you don't just get customers who buy one kind of product, but they buy multiple products of your brand. But if you don't have that, sometimes I know I say black hat here, I don't want to recommend anything, but I just wanted to warn sellers that there are some other sellers who might be targeting your listing, and they do some kind of manipulation with frequently bought together so that they appear on your listing in that section. So you need to do something about it, be proactive about it, so that you have that real estate basically locked in for yourself and not let anyone manipulate your listing. And yeah, so you can have buy one, get one promotions. It doesn't have to be through ManyChat, actually. It can be, but it can also be, you can set up those promotions on Seller Central, as well as, for example, you can set up product bundles, which is a pretty new feature. And people will be more likely to buy those products together as a bundle, which will also positively affect your frequently bought together section.
Cool. Great.
Yep. And for PPC, it's important. Just because, let's say you paid for this people to come to your listing, you paid for the click, they are on your listing, but so if you have some other products in the frequently bought together section, then you just kind of given up that placement, and people might click on there and go to a different listing. I know there are a lot of products being advertised on your product listing, but so they can still do that, but by trying to retain as much of the placements on your listing as possible with your own products, it's gonna increase the chances that you're actually gonna get that sale, and overall it's gonna be just more profitable for your brand in terms of just your ads and everything. You're gonna get more sales.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So about Amazon's choice placements, it's kind of also has to do with the previous slide that we just were talking about. Here we will also talk about winning more real estate for your product. But here it's going to not be the real estate on your listing, it's going to be the one that you get in the search results. So if you have the Amazon's choice badge, then people will be more likely to click on on the icon of your product in the search results. So it will improve your click-through rate, both with PPC and just organic results. And it will give you, and also improve your conversion rate as well. And because people just will have more trust for your product and for your brand if it has the Amazon's choice badge for certain keywords, and it will just give you extra visibility. It might even be that you will get one of those placements. There's basically in the search results, you have the first row, which is typically sponsored products, then the second row, which is organic results, the first 4, let's say, organic results. And then the next rows, you can actually see the Amazon's choice for this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. And they are all similar keywords. They are like in the same niche because you searched for some specific, I don't know, let's say you search for laptop, and then it's going to be Amazon's choice for laptop stand, for laptop case, like just next to each other. And if you manage to win the Amazon's choice for some specific keyword, you will also be advertised on that section for free, and you will basically get one more spot on the search page for your product, not only sponsored and organic, but you will also have that one extra spot, which is really, really cool.
Nice. That's really cool.
Okay, let's move on then. So taking advantage of attribution, basically, I would say that if you're doing, let's say, search, find, buys, don't use attribution, because you just want to use different strategy there. But attribution is really, really great if you are promoting your product or your brand on social media, or even with ManyChat or on your email, and you want to track how many people actually buy that product. So because sometimes it's confusing. Like, for example, for years, it's been like that. The brands would post their product on a page, and they will see that there were some clicks but they will have no idea how many sales they had. Because I know that in the past you had to use you had to kind of direct the traffic to the store, right, Lazar? And then you could track conversions from there.
Yeah, but still at that option, like if you check analytics and storefront, the only option that you can see is like you see only from that click, like on the store. But like if somebody moved further, you wouldn't be able to see it. It wasn't like a real attribution. On the other hand, when you go to Amazon attribution, you have 14-day window.
Nice.
So everything that made sale is attributed to that during 14 days. And that's kind of tricky when you're an Amazon seller, because you're used to last click conversions, like most of the time when you check your Amazon store. Like I know there are a lot of tools on the market that are like making literally addiction to see like how many sales you made during the day, and like you're checking like every day and so on, and like a couple of times a day. And like attribution is working a bit in a different way. There is time needed for conversion to lay down and to see them in the interface. So that's kind of challenge for a seller to realize that it's not going to affect the account in the same way. But if you're checking your overall sales at the same time as like attribution goes, like, and if you see that there is growth in the other way, like it helps.
Yeah, for sure it helps. And also another benefit of testing attribution for your brand is that it will give you some new pieces of data that you never had before, and you will be able to optimize your listing based on those results that you get. So for example, one of those things is you will see how many people added the product to cart. So you'll basically be able to calculate what's the percentage of people who click on your listing and then they add the product to cart, because you don't get this information in business reports. You just know how many sessions you had, how many sales you had, just this kind of stuff. But you don't know how many people added the product to cart, which means what's the conversion into the add to cart, and then how many people actually purchased, which is another thing, which is maybe a lot of people for some reason drop off in the cart and they don't end up purchasing your product. So you will just be able to analyze the data, and it will let you improve some things about your product. You will think, do I need to improve that point where people are adding the product to cart somehow, or do I need to improve the point where they actually purchasing the product? So that's a really cool data.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the only place where you can see it. I'm not really sure. So I remember a couple of years ago, you and me were checking like when attribution showed up, like it was 2 years ago in 2018. And like we were checking what kind of links you can build there, and like what kind of stuff you can do, what kind of stuff you can track. And people usually connect attribution to paid traffic, but it doesn't necessarily need to be paid traffic. So you can basically track your links from blog posts as well. Yeah. And that's the interesting thing. Like you can obviously have paid content on some website, like on a news website with your product, and to have a link that has attribution UTM at the end, and you can still track it, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, if right now you're posting pictures of your product every once in a while, like let's say, I don't know, a few times a week, you're posting some information about your product, don't just give the Amazon page link that people just click and go directly to your listing. Add attribution to it, which is pretty easy to set up, and then you'll be able to track what's the return on your social media. Like you're doing social media, you're investing money and time, let's say, but sometimes money if you're hiring someone like designer or social media person. What's the actual return from that? That's very good also thing to analyze for your brand.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Nice. Okay, so we are actually at our final slide here. The 10th way. So it's going to be about expanding your brand and just thinking outside of the box and trying to grow it outside of Amazon. Because yes, Amazon is really great because you can get sales easily. For example, if you want to sell your products on Shopify, you will have probably better profit margins there, but you need to be you need to be an expert in marketing to get people on your website. Whereas with Amazon, it's way easier. You just get those customers. If your listing is decent, if you have decent images, decent quality of product, and decent also keyword relevancy, all this kind of stuff that we talked about before, you'll just start getting sales. With Shopify, it's not like that. But eventually, when you've already grown your business on Amazon, you might want to consider growing it outside of Amazon to just have more stable business, because Amazon, unfortunately, is very unstable, especially lately. It's just all the new rules that it introduces, and sellers are experiencing some issues with their accounts, even if they haven't done anything. It's just because the bots are checking your accounts, and they might ban your account, suspend your account just out of the blue. Maybe you just haven't done anything, but they just do that, and then you need to appeal, and it's just so much hassle and so much energy that you need to spend on that. Whereas basically by building that audience on ManyChat, email, it doesn't really matter. The only thing is that on ManyChat you typically get way higher open rates and click-through rates than on email. But as long as you have this audience, which is a very important business asset, you can just keep growing your brand in any direction you like.
Yeah, since I think we covered most of the talk about ManyChat sequence, but people are usually thinking about ManyChat sequences when they think about their Amazon business. Can you give some ideas to the people, how they can use ManyChat sequences on their website, or something that can help their e-commerce, not only on Amazon but on their websites?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are multiple things, actually. I would just say that you can use it in a very similar way to how you're using it for Amazon. So you can promote your products. You can promote your, let's say, Black Friday deal. You can send message or email to your audience saying that you're launching a new product on your website. And this way you have this audience to notify about this. And if they already know your brand, so they trust you, and they don't really mind buying from you on Amazon or buying from you on Shopify, for example. They just trust you. And as long as you have that contact with them, you can connect with them, and you can basically promote any of your deals. You can, I would say that's probably most of the time that you would do. And you can also use ManyChat to set up, let's say, chat on your website to also do customer service. You can create a customer service bot, which is also gonna make it easier for you to manage your customer service. And also on your website, you can also have different, let's say, banners. It's gonna say you can create that banner inside of ManyChat, and for example, it's gonna say we have a new product launch. Click here to get your coupon code or something. And so there are many tools, many ways that you can use it for your website, but it all comes down to one thing, basically, making sales. And to make sales, you need to keep promoting your products, keep contacting your audience. It's actually, I even think it's a good idea to just email your audience, let's say, every week at least. Even if you're not even offering any promo codes, you will still just emailing them about some information in the niche, in the topic that they should be interested in, based on which product they bought from you. It will keep you on the back of their minds, and they will be more likely to go to your brand to buy this product or similar product again, just because you're always on their minds, reminding them about you. So you can do that, basically marketing with ManyChat.
Awesome. Those are all great ideas. Well, thank you so much, Julia. I have just one more question. If somebody wants to reach out to you, what's the best way how to do it?
Yeah, so you can even reach out to me in the bot. So if you already scanned it, just send me a message and I'm going to get back to you. If not, you can email me, julia@amzlaunchbot.com, or just find me on Facebook, Julia Kirtoka, just like you see on the screen right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the conversation today, and I think it was super helpful and useful. And hopefully we'll talk soon once again.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great. Thank you again for inviting me. You've been a great host as always. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So guys, this was Julia, and I hope that you liked it. Please send us an email on ask@wildppcbunch.com or reach out to office@sellersalley.com. If you have any questions, you already know how to reach out to Julia. And basically that's it for today.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.